All righty, we are live on LinkedIn and YouTube. Waiting just a second for StreamYard to get into my free Facebook group. There we go. I see us. Awesome. Looks like that is starting up. Perfect. There we go. Yes, I think it is perfect. Let me get the chat going. And we will jump in. You guys are in for a treat today. Happy Friday Eve day to everybody. You guys know this awkward pause at the beginning is StreamYard trying to hook into all the destinations, right? We're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, and we're in my free Facebook group, the Be a Confident Entrepreneur group. If you're not in it, you need to be in it. And if you need the link for it, just DM me. Wherever you're coming in from, we're glad you're here. Listen, you're going to love this conversation today. I'm bringing back a series that we used to do a lot. And I was thinking the other day, I'm like, why did we get away from doing the Entrepreneurial Inspiration series? It was so crazy. Everybody loved it. My guest today is my friend Tobias Young, and he is here to share his entrepreneurial journey from having an idea and a dream, like we all do, to creating a 7-figure plus business and what it really takes to do it, and how we can do this without losing ourselves, without losing our values or our sanity, right? I cannot wait for you to hear his best practices on this. But just in case this is the first time we've ever met, I want to introduce myself. I am Tracy Beavers. I'm a business and sales coach with over 20 years of experience in marketing, sales, and business growth. And about 7 years ago, I just got completely fed up with my corporate career and I hatched a plan to exit. And I share that with you guys in case you are sitting in a corporate career and you're like, I don't think this is a good fit anymore. Or maybe you've quit and you're wondering, can I build this business? Tobias and I are here today to show you that you can, because if we can do it, you can too. As a business and sales coach, my forte is making you highly visible online, going from feeling invisible to visible. I teach all organic visibility and list growth strategies because that email list, that is key to your business success. And I want you to grow that list so you can get to the consistent monthly income that you want. And the strategies that I teach are fresh. I get your email list growth and your leads coming in automatically every day in the background of your business without having to think about paid ads, without being told to create yet another free lead magnet. And if you're thinking, here we are in July, we are over halfway through the year, and you haven't achieved some of the goals you've wanted to achieve, and you're thinking you need a coach by your side, DM me and let's talk about it. I have 45-minute one-to-one sessions available that are perfect for knocking out one or two things. I also have elite private one-to-one coaching that is a deep dive that I do on your business. Now, as we go along, pop your questions and comments into the chat for us. We will check those and answer those at the end. And if you're coming to us on replay, put hashtag replay in there. And if you have a question for Tobias, go ahead and throw it in and I will make sure that we get it answered. All right, Tobias, I'm going to introduce you. Hang on to your hat because this is so impressive. He is an IFBB Pro, which you're going to have to explain to us what that means. He's a 7-time fitness cover model. Okay. And the founder of TNT Fit Pro Coaching. He has over 26 years in the fitness industry, 16 years building an online coaching business. He now mentors fitness coaches through his elite level coaches program to help them grow and scale profitable online businesses. He's got a method he calls the 9 times Ascend method. That sounds really cool. And he's also the creator of Fit Pro Solution, which is a white label CRM software program that keeps his coaches on track and growing their businesses. Tobias, is there anything I've left off? And please tell us what IFBB means.
You nailed it, Trace. Good stuff. Woo! IFBB is International Federation of Bodybuilding. So it's like, the competitive scene from bodybuilding to men's physique.
Yeah.
I competed for 16 years. And so I did that for a long time as well.
And that is no joke, my friend. That takes a lot of patience and consistency and, motivating yourself, right?
Yeah. And skipping wonderful meals with family and summer barbecues and like literally meal prepping and things. And, just the competition side, it's phenomenal. You learn so much. And especially as a fitness coach, then you're able to take a lot of those philosophies and install them in your clients. But more than anything is building those foundational habits that you can carry over into business. Right. And once you have those business habits, you can take off and you can do anything because nothing is going to be able to phase you. And I think that's why a lot of people that have that discipline from competing can do so well in business as well.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, I always like to ask for a fun fact. I have alluded to it all week with my audience. What is your fun fact?
My fun fact, Tracy, is actually, believe it or not, I have to tell you the little backstory going into the fun fact, and I'll tell you the fun fact if that's okay.
Yes.
So I didn't have a dad growing up, so I had a big brother from the Big Brothers program. It was just me and my mom, and we connected when I was about 10 years old. When I was 12, he got me a gym membership to my first gym because he wanted to give me kind of like a positive experience. He got me some personal trainer sessions.
Nice.
And from there, like I never looked back. So my fun fact is I've been working out since I was just 12 years old, and I'm 50 now. So it's been a long time.
That is so, I love that story that he did that for you. It changed your life.
It did. Yeah. It brought me on the right path. I had some knucklehead friends that went the left path, but I went the right path. So
we all have some of those knucklehead friends. Absolutely. Okay. I have to ask. I know that I did not tell you I was going to ask you this. What is your favorite thing to do in the gym?
Oh, man. My favorite thing to do is lift some dang weights. Like, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of different variations. I like to change it up. I also train jujitsu as well. So it's Brazilian jiu-jitsu, BJJ. So they kind of correlate to each other. It's like 2 different workouts that I do per day. So my gym based is going to really improve my strength. And, you know, I can work on some stamina because I can do some HIIT training. I can do some battle ropes at the end. I like to do burnouts at the end.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I'll phase in my warm up, my mobility work. Then I'll go into my lifting techniques. A lot of, you know, bodybuilding style workouts, but then I actually have functional twist that I throw in there. So I decrease the stabilization on some things. I do some unilateral movements, and then I burn it out with some fun HIIT training. So that way I'm just completely spent. Then I eat, recover, and then obviously later in the evenings, then I go train my BJJ, which is a whole different skill set.
Yeah, it is. My husband did BJJ for a while when we were dating, and our daughter, actually, she's a police officer here in our city. And just real quick, I have to brag. She was the only female officer asked to go through the Gracie certification.
Wow.
For BJJ. And now she can train the force.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
I know. I don't worry about her quite as much because she's 5'4", all of like 140 pounds on heavy day.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, let's dive into this. Everybody wants to know more about you. Dial it back. I know you said it sounds like your journey kind of started when you were 12, but like lead us through like, why did you decide this and how did you land here?
Yeah, great question. So obviously, you know, going through junior high and high school, I started getting into sports and things in there too, because I had to have some kind of an outlet. So I started excelling and doing really well at a lot of sports. And then as I continued to work out, my physique, you know, improved. And later on, I always thought, man, I want to compete. I want to do something fun because I also, you know, did football and I did wrestling and I did some other sports in there too.
Yeah.
Then finally I got into, you know, I did my first bodybuilding show. I prepped myself for all my competitions. I didn't, you know, I had some friends that kind of gave me some tips and stuff, but overall I did all my main prep. And that was a whole different world. And that opened up my sponsorship that I got with Optimum Nutrition and some other sponsors, which like landed me on, you know, the covers and things. But back in 1999 is when I first got into the fitness industry. I started doing, you know, I did everything like from door-to-door sales. I tried not to become a trainer, to tell you the truth, Tracy, because I loved working out so much. I didn't want to get into the fitness industry because I was like, I don't want it to ruin my passion. If I'm doing it all day, I don't know if it would make me like not want to do it anymore. So I tried going another direction. I worked in restaurants. I got hired by like Guy Fieri, you know, the main, before he was famous, like he's the one who personally hired me and we were friends and stuff.
That's awesome.
Then he blew up and become a big celebrity. But so I did that. I did door-to-door alarm sales. I worked at a bank and I was like, this is not my jam. I don't like this. Right. And so finally I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go with something that I know that I would be really good at. And so I became a personal trainer, got certified. And then from there, I fell in love with it. Within 3 months, I blew the record away at the gym that I was at, the sales records. And then I got promoted really, really fast into from 24-hour fitness and, you know, started managing a bunch of their locations, and then the rest is history from there. I just, you go into a fitness manager role, which is like overseeing and training and developing the trainers.
Yeah.
And then I worked at Gold's Gym and In Shape Health Clubs, and I became a general manager, a district manager, district fitness manager. So my roles just continued to increase and grow. And then eventually, people would like message me or email me in and connect with me because they would see me in a lot of the magazines that I was featured in. They like, Tobias, hey, can you do a menu plan for me? Like, I need to lose weight. I want to get abs and so forth and workouts and same thing. I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I did all this for free in the very beginning, just because I wanted to help people. Yeah. So I would email in workouts, and then it just started to be like, they would want progressions and all that stuff. I was like, man, I got to start charging for this. Yeah. So I built a free website on Weebly. It was like a little template type thing. I was like, okay, I'm going to put it out there so that way I could say, hey, if you want to sign up, you can buy. And then it just started, like the whole online game started. This was before COVID hit, obviously. And it wasn't even a thing with online training. And then I set up my strategies and my structure. And then eventually I was like, you know what? This could be a business and I love it. And it's like in the corporate world, you're bound by the rules and the regulations, and they can move you to different clubs, and you have to like literally play by the rules, which is cool. I understand it's a corporation. Yeah. But I wanted to have flexibility and freedoms as well. I wanted to be able to work my own hours. I wanted to be able to travel. I wanted to have more time with my family. I have, a wife and 2 kids. And so I went like deeper into the online coaching, and I finally hired some mentors that like literally I was like, I need some help. I'm not like a marketer guy, but I want to learn how to do that stuff so I can grow my business. So I invested. My first mentor was $10,000, and I didn't have $10,000. So I put it on a credit card. I was like, help me, please. I got my ROI back, and I was like, oh my God, this is insane. Like all the things that I was learning. I loved the marketing side of things too. And then I continued to grow, and I hired more mentors. And then, obviously the business grew. And then I was making more part-time as an online trainer than I was managing multiple gyms. So I just made the switch and went all into online training and did really well. And, now what I do is I help other coaches actually install the systems and strategies to be able to grow and scale their business. So it's kind of like a natural progression. So that's kind of how it all came to fruition.
That is an amazing evolution. And one of the tips that I want to bring back that you said, you invested when you didn't have the money. And I think it's scary to do that. But it is so important as entrepreneurs that we recognize the places where we are stubbing our toe and we need help. And we reach out to people that can do it, but we're not afraid to pay them to do it. Right. I love that. That is so important for people to hear. Okay. I have to ask this question. So here you are, you've got the stable job, which I totally agree with you about corporate. You got to play by their rules. And there's so many rules. And so, but you decide, okay, you're making more money in your part-time gig than you are in the corporate thing. When you decided, like when you went to your wife and you said, hey, honey, I'm going to quit this job that has these benefits and this stuff, and your family knew and all that, what did they say?
Well, great question. Well, at first it was kind of like, you know what? But you're getting this kind of like base that you're just used to getting. Are you sure you want to do that? Yeah. And then I was like, yeah, because I love this. And if I just put more effort into it, I can scale it. And I know I can. And she's like, my wife was very supportive, and she's like, you know what? I believe in you. You have an insane work ethic. I know what you can do and what you're capable of, as long as we have enough to like get by for like 90 days, just in case something doesn't happen. And so I made sure we had a little bit of a pocket in there too, just in case. And then I went all in, and I had her blessing, but it took a little convincing. So it wasn't quite as easy as that. But, once I did it, it was obviously there's no looking back. And now it's a no-brainer. It's one of my key turning points in happiness and flexibility and freedoms that I've ever made.
For sure. And, I built this business alongside my full-time job as well. And there does come that tipping point where you're like, okay, I've got one foot in the corporate thing. I've got one foot in my business. I got to get one foot out. I either got to go this way or I got to go this way. And, my husband was totally on board, but similar to your wife, he was like, okay, don't derail our retirement, and let's just make sure we can keep the lights on, and let's just see how it goes. But one of the thoughts that I had, and I don't know if you had this thought too, because it sounds like you were like all in from the start. But I kept thinking to myself, okay, if this doesn't work, which I think it will, I can always go get another job. Did you ever think that too?
I mean, I did other jobs and I was like, I just knew that I would be a success because I've just always been driven. Like whenever I really set my mind to something, I excelled at it because I just went all in and did just like my bodybuilding and just like I always wanted to be, you know, in the magazines. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. My bodybuilding, I went in there and I did it. And I turned, you know, took it to the, you know, the highest level and getting my pro card and, you know, very high level with like my athletics and stuff. So I was like, you know what, I know I can do this because, you know, other people are doing it. And if like, if they don't even have, you know, some of the background and some of the accolades, like I know I can freaking crush it, especially if I get the right type of help and coaching. And that's why I still have mentors and I still have coaches and I never stop investing in myself to get the skills where I can continue to grow as well.
Yeah, me too. Always be having a mentor or somebody to help you. So what is it, if you can think back, like maybe to the beginning, what's a big challenge you had? Did anything ever like shake you where you're like, oh boy? I mean, I know you're a determined person and you can figure it out, but like I've had times like where I'm like, oh, okay, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I mean, you have those months where I was, you know, back when I was just doing the fitness coaching and you have some clients that, you know, for one reason or another, they have to leave and they have to, you know, they get injured or they take a new job or they get busy or, you know, life happens and they end up leaving. You're like, oh, shoot. And, you know, at the time I had a couple different programs and I had some high ticket where it was like, you know, $1,000 a month for some of my clients. And, you know, when you have some of those leave, it's like, it like, oh, okay, I got to get going. And it just makes me step up my game that much more and really get in there. Cause it's easy to like, you know, make more money than you've ever made. You're making 6 figures, you're doing well. And if you're not used to that, it's cool. And it's easy to kind of hit the cruise control a little bit. But it just shakes me up and just like slaps me in the face. It's like taking 5 shots of espresso, like, Tobias, get your act together. Let's go. Like, don't ever take your foot on the gas pedal on getting leads and doing your marketing too. Cause you got to keep, you know, freshness coming in on the front end too. And then your retention obviously will, you know, do its course in there too. And then I built out an MRR program, a monthly recurring revenue. So instead of having to sell chunk programs, I built it out where they continuously stay in on, you know, on a monthly basis. And then I just continued to grow that. So there was certain things that, you know, we kind of flipped the switch on a little bit.
Yeah. I love the monthly recurring revenue model. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you have said to yourself, man, I wish I knew this before I started this business? Why didn't anybody tell me?
Man, everything, so many things. And I'm always learning new things. That's the thing is like things that I'm learning now, I'm like, man, if I would have known this 3 years ago, it would be insane. Cause you know, there's always that kind of growth factor and the things that are working, you know, or that, you know, worked in 2021, they don't work as effectively today. So you have to constantly be, you know, upping your game and learning the new things. But I mean, I would say in the beginning, I didn't have like an effective CRM. Client relation. It's a client relation management tool where you can create your email automations and your funnels and all that stuff. I didn't have that really dialed in. At corporate gyms, they have CRMs that you use. And so when you kind of go off on your own, you have to kind of like, you know, figure things out a little bit. And then I started to work with the CRM, but like now I've built out Fit Pro solution that kind of like tackles that problem for Fit Pro. So it's, you know, but that would be the main thing is just having that structure and, you know, and that cadence with everything in a tool to keep you on track.
Yeah, no, it's totally true. So when I left corporate, well, I had, you know, I was in sales, so I had a CRM system there too. I got to work for myself. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's just me. Yeah. I mean, in the corporate job, you got the desk, the phone, the business cards, the name tag, the CRM, the software, the da 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 da. And then here I am in the kitchen, working at the kitchen table going, wow, okay. If I want business cards, I have to go get them. You know what I mean? It's just like such a different thing. But yeah, there are been so many times when I'm like, yeah, it would have been cool if somebody had explained that to me already. Anything that has just really surprised you along the way? Like you mentioned, what worked in 2021 doesn't work in 2025. does that surprise you? And like, what is working in 2025 for you?
Man, like the newest things that are just like, continuously slapping people in the face are going to be like the AI that's coming out. That's just like, whoa. So it's
Yeah.
so much easier now using like ChatGPT to give you like, your content ideas and freshen and putting things in there too that you create and then having it come back. Like back in the day, I used to have to either learn copywriting myself, outsource and hire copywriters, have a funnel builder and like have somebody like, that would create like the landing page copy and all that kind of stuff. And now it's like all that stuff is like right in front of you where, you just have to learn how to do some prompts. So I would say the AI factor is continuously changing the game. Same thing with creating, nutrition and workouts. And a lot of the training apps now have AI component to make things so much faster and easier. Where I had to get all these different softwares and learn, nutrition software and calorie counting and macro counting and like how to, all these extra expenses and things that would kind of like take more time. Now it's just like simplified. And I'm like, the people now have no idea how it used to be. So
yes. Yeah, I agree. AI is wild. There is a tool for everything. And I feel like I'm late to the party on it. So I'm trying to run to catch up with the bus on this one. What is a particular milestone you've had in all of your years that you just are really proud of? Like when people ask you what you've achieved, it's like the first thing that comes into your mind. What's something you can share with our audience?
Yeah, I mean, and there's two. So there's getting my pro card, with my IFBB pro card that we were talking about. So that's like a huge milestone. That's almost like well, in the bodybuilding scene and men's physique scene, there's different levels. So there's like your local competitions. Then you have your regional competitions. When the local people do really well, they qualify for regionals. And then from regionals, there's like national shows, like where you can go against like, all the top competitors from the regional. And then from the national shows, you have to take top 2 in order to get your pro card. So it's like going from high school football to college football to making the NFL. So that was kind of like one of my big accolades that I was super proud of, because I had good genetics, but I didn't have the best genetics. Like I had to outwork people. Like, because it's like some of these guys have small waist and just naturally like, more muscle and things like that. So I just had to work harder. So I'm super proud of that.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would say is just being able to make that transition and leave the corporate world and go full time into my dream, into my dream with the online side, because then, I can bring my laptop now, knock out my work, I can travel. So I can go to Hawaii, I can go to San Diego, I can go to all these places. One, now you can afford to do that, whereas before you can't. And number 2 is like the flexibility that you have with your own schedules and the freedoms and all those things. It changed the game for me. So once I went 100% online, that was the key point right there.
I love it. What do you have going for your business in the next 3 to 6 months? That's exciting.
Yes. So I just actually launched it's called the ELC 3.0, Elite Level Coaches 3.0. It's where we help coaches grow their business. And I had a done with you component that's part of my coaching program. And we just launched the 3.0, which is now like a done for you component where my team goes in and builds all their tech and all their funnels. Because most fitness coaches are not marketers. They're not like techie. They're like, I hate the tech. I just like, can you help me just like build all this stuff out? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I can. And so I created an easy button for the coaches. So now they can hit the easy button and my team could build out all their emails, their automations, their workflows, their client follow-ups, their former client nurture campaigns, all the things, their websites, all the things that most coaches have no idea how to do. And they don't want to learn that. They want to coach clients.
I know. So I preach. Yes. Tech is not my love language. That is not where I want to spend my time. That is amazing. I love that you have that easy button for them where they can just have success and they can focus on the things that bring them the most joy and the places where they should be spending their time.
Yeah. 100%. Yep.
All right. You've got an awesome freebie for everybody. Do you want to tell them about it?
Yeah, it's the roadmap. So it's the roadmap to get 10K in 90 days. And a lot of coaches, like their first milestone is hitting that 10K month. Like you're like, I want to be a 6-figure coach. Like that's my goal. So I mapped out the different stages on, the easiest kind of simplified steps to be able to finally get to your first 10K month. So if you're just starting off, or maybe you've been on, been a coach online and you're just like struggling to break past that 3 to 5K per month barrier, you're just kind of hitting the wall a little bit. There's some simple things that you can do that can make a big difference in changing the game. Yeah. So I laid it all out and I created a quick blueprint for you to help you map everything out. And then you can obviously ask if you have any questions, but it's simplified for you.
I love that. I popped the link to it into the comments on our free Facebook group. After the live, I will go over to LinkedIn and do it there as well. And YouTubers and podcast listeners, it's going to be in the show notes. So don't worry, you can still grab Tobias's free guide. Is there anything else you want to share with us before we wrap this up?
Man, I just want to say, Tracy, thank you so much. Like having a group and having a community like this where you're able to give value back, like that's huge. And those are the things that I think more coaches need to see, is like, you don't always have to, spend a bunch of money to get any type of knowledge. Like start off with this, start off with following Tracy, start off with following coaches that have already kind of laid the path, and take these simple steps and get your foundation set. And then when you're ready for a little bit more custom one-on-one help, then obviously see Tracy, and then she can do that. But like, just having this, Tracy, I just want to say is phenomenal. You have an amazing podcast. You have a great community. And thank you so much for having me on here.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. I love it and giving us your time. Okay, my friends, you know that I do this every Thursday at 11:30 Central. Now, next week, I will not be doing a live, and I want to tell you why. I want to be an example. We're leaving for the lake tomorrow. And normally I create all the live content, the emails and everything on Fridays. Well, your girl's taking a break. I'm not doing it this week. So I'm going to take the week off so that I can go to the lake and enjoy it with my husband and have some downtime. So I just want to be an example for you. Sometimes it's okay to not do everything all the time. So be here live with me the following Thursday at 11:30 Central. Put it on your calendar, set that phone alarm. And remember, I say this every single week. Don't go it alone. Tobias and I just talked about how entrepreneurship can be great highs, deep lows, roller coaster. Some days you're the bee's knees. Other days you've got your $1,000 a month clients that have dropped off and you're like, oh, holy mackerel, what am I going to do now? If you think you're alone, you're not. And that's why it's so important to get into communities like the ones that Tobias has built, the ones that I have built, so that you are not alone. Here's what I want you to do now. I want you to go into Facebook and I want you to find me. I'm Tracy Lane Beavers. You're going to see my free Facebook group, a link to it in the links that I have there. You're going to see my next workshop featured on my cover photo. So if the workshop looks great to you, we're going to talk about content repurposing. I'm going to show you how to create just one piece of content each week. And from that, everything else is born. And it's a system I've used to have consistent content ever since I started building alongside my corporate job. So go to Tracy Lane Beavers, find me, join our free Facebook group, check out the workshop, and send me a DM. Say, hey, I heard you and Tobias today. And you can tell me whatever you think, but it would be great if you said you guys were amazing. All right, my friends, I want you to have a great balance of the week and weekend. And I want you to remember that when one of us rises, we all rise. So that is why we have got to keep cheering each other on. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Tobias, thank you so much again.
Thanks so much for having me. And Tracy, by the way, enjoy your weekend. You deserve it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.